All right. It's morning time, so good morning, everybody. So I wanted to do a live session here. It's November 30th. So, um, last 2 days of 2025. And if anyone's actually working today, bravo, good for you. I know I am. So, but I wanted to put together a quick video of what I've been having. I've been having a lot of conversations with sales reps, especially because of the company that I created and launching Verideal. So, and a lot of questions or comments and topics that we've discussed is around the top 10 skills that sales reps need to be successful with, and then how to improve and how to get better. So I figured I'd throw up a video, talk about the stuff that I've talked with a lot of different sales reps about. I guess the best part about my position that I'm in right now is I'm a I've been in tech sales. I've been in sales for 10 plus years. I've been in tech sales. And then on top of that, I've had the privilege of networking and talking to a lot of different people. So, and then starting Verideal over the past year, talking to a lot more salespeople from all different industries and really hearing what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and what they want to improve on. So, without further ado, let's dive into the top 10 skills that you need to be successful in sales. So, the very first one is active listening. Um, and I actually personally learned this skill from a book. And then I was talking to a mentor when I first started out, and the mentor told me to start listening to audiobooks nonstop. And the reason why is because, especially when you're driving, and the reason why is because you need to be able to listen while doing a task. And so that's kind of where I learned how to, people talk about listen, kind of goes in one ear, out the other. I visually like to think it as you're listening with this ear while, and it's going in, and then you're trying to think while the conversation's happening. So the information's going in and it's being trapped in your brain. Um, and why that's important is because I feel like it's self-explanatory, but you need to be able to understand what is being said, what is happening, and on top of that, um, understand where that plays into the larger picture of the conversation. So if you're trying to sell a large solution, you need to understand, um, the micro details plus the macro. You need to be able to step back 60,000 feet, understand this conversation that's happening, understand where it is in the big picture, and how you can, you know, uh, correlate those two. So, number two, building trust. Building trust is an interesting topic because, you know, um, people buy whether or not they need to. That's rare, but they buy from people that they truly do like, at the end of the day. So you, by building trust, you will evidently, inevitably become a person that they like. So, um, how do you build trust? In my experience, what I've learned is by just being yourself. And sometimes you might not get along with everybody, but you will get along with the right people at the right time in your life, in the sales cycle, and in your so how do you work on that? Personally, I believe the best way to do this is by going out there and living your life to the fullest, experiencing a lot of different things, traveling, gaining real world experience, especially for the younger folks. If you've never left your hometown or you've only been on the East Coast of the United States, go to the West Coast, go to the Central, go on vacation, go on a road trip, go do something fun and learn and talk to a lot of different people. I think that's going to build a lot of character in yourself. And then when you talk to buyers, you're going to be able to relate to them extremely fast. And so then you can build trust because you've shared experiences with them about different things. So, um, and then, if I can, relating it back to Verideal, like trust is really all that matters in this world right now, especially with a lot of AI. So if you can build yourself up with a trusted portfolio and with buyers, then why not carry that throughout your professional career? So something to think about. So follow through is number three. Follow through. Reps, especially hunter sales reps, the people that go out and find net new business, they like to, close the deal and move on within a certain amount of time. So, the best advice I can give to those people is to lock down that relationship as fast as possible after the deal closes. Sure, some companies' policies might be you have 90 days to close another deal, or it's going to move to account manager. So, um, and this kind of goes back to building trust as well, but following through. So when you close that deal and you promise XYZ, make sure that is taken care of. Yes, it might be passed off to the account manager within 90 days, but if topic two and topic three are not finished, follow up with them. It takes 5 minutes. Send that email. Make sure it happens, and then follow up internally. Make sure that happens. If you need to schedule a 30-minute meeting, 30 minutes once or twice a month is not going to hurt you. It's not going to derail you. It's only going to continue to build trust and then show them that you actually care. And then on top of that, when you're building your professional portfolio, they're going to understand who you are, rate you properly, and then show other buyers that this person actually not only listened to me, but here's proof that they did what they said that they were going to do. And a lot of sales reps don't do that these days. So follow through with whatever you're going to say, uh, plan to do. All right. So number four, resilience. I like this one. So bounce back. You need this for sales. You need this for life. You need this for being a parent, being an entrepreneur. You need resilience for a lot of things. This world, social media and algorithms like to kind of take a lot of your attention. And so I view this as being resilient against the algorithms and be resilient against a lot of no's, a lot of loses. You know, what is it? It's all the famous professional athletes like Roger Federer have talked about, he's only won 54% of the points in his entire career, but he's one of the most accomplished tennis players in the entire world. Um, but if you think about that, 54%, he's barely winning over half of the points. So if he wasn't mentally strong and resilient through that process, then he would have never continued to win. So in sales, being resilient is crucial because you're going to get told no. You're going to get told some really rude things, even internally and externally, from your peers, your managers, senior leadership. You just need to make sure that you are very comfortable with yourself, with your inner self, and being able to understand what's right and wrong and move forward. Um, yeah. So number five, product knowledge. Um, yeah, this is an interesting one because let's say you are in cybersecurity industry or vertical, I guess you could say. So if you're in cybersecurity, for an example, and you don't know what you're talking about, then why would the buyer who is a potentially VP of cyber at a company that has 500 employees, how are you going to sell something to them? It's not going to work. It's not going to be pretty. So don't do it. Learn the basics and then take the time Take 2 weeks, take 4 weeks to go out, find a good, if your company has a training model, get the certification, get the hard one, take the time, just, and then unfortunately, product knowledge comes with repetition, and that comes with meetings, and that comes with listening to your sales engineer or solutions architect, whoever it is. So you need to build up your credibility. You need to show the buyer that you can actually hang in the conversation. You might not be able to go deep, and that's fine. That's what the sales engineer is for. But having product knowledge is something that you need to spend time doing. So, number six, objection handling. Um, sales, you get told no more often than not. I think the average rate of close is what, 20 to 30%. Some people might be 40%. If you are fantastic, good for you. But, um, you know, some of the top people that I've ever met, they only close 20% of the deals that they have. So being able to overcome, maybe dance around objections, having good answers. Again, this can come one of two ways. You can either learn this the hard way, which is doing it yourself and just trial and error, or you can do it the second way. And I think this is the smartest way, which is twofold: trial and error. You have to do this yourself, but then also listen to the more senior folks, read some books, listen to podcasts, listen to recorded videos, listen to as many objections as possible, and then go out and do it. Trial and error, like I said. So that's the best way, and really the only way to get over objection handling. So number seven, time management. This is a good one. So you have to be able to, the top sales reps have to be able to set time aside every single day to do X, Y, Z. And if you're a hunter, your number one job is to get revenue in the door, net new revenue. So that means every single day you have to figure out how you're going to make the company money and close deals. And that's it. So best, easiest way is find a nice app on your phone that has like attention focus. Put your phone on do not disturb, set a timer, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 2 hours, it doesn't matter. And then you can do the same thing for your phone, or computer. Block off, turn off Slack, turn off Teams, and just get after it. Whether it's cold calling, emailing, researching, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing something that is moving one step forward to generate revenue for the company and your sales, then that's a win. So that's time management. You have to do it. Now, does it mean that you have to do it from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.? No. You can do it whenever it works for you. That's the benefit of being in sales, is we're kind of in a flexible work scenario. So good and bad. Storytelling is number 8. Storytelling. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of this video, which was going for a trip, getting real world life experience. So storytelling is unique because some people are just innately good at that, right? I'm not, and the best way I've learned from my past is how to become a good storyteller is because of my experiences in the past. I was in the military. I traveled a lot. I have friends all over the place. I have family all over the place. I go overseas. I do all these things. I follow sports. I read some books, podcasts, everything. So I feel like I can have multiple conversations with different people from different walks of life and relate to them. So that kind of goes back to number 2, which is building trust. And that kind of just builds on itself. But without all of that experience, I wouldn't have learned how to storytell to different people because people from the East Coast are not like the South and they are not like the West Coast. So you have to understand that people are different in different regions of the United States or even within the state itself. And you have to be able to quickly adapt to them and what they like. All right. Number nine, curiosity. This is my favorite topic ever, curiosity. And so just be curious, ask why. A lot of people don't. A lot of people stop after one or two questions. They don't ask a third or fourth. They feel, and I don't know if it's whether it comes from their childhood, the schooling, or just them themselves being comfortable with themselves. But curiosity is one of those things that sometimes you just gotta keep asking questions. And then on top of that, as you get more mature in your sales career, curiosity and asking questions isn't just about line firing, but maybe it's also building in that storytelling, building in that curiosity. Okay, so like you tell me this, I had this experience with this customer and this customer over here. Did that kind of relate to you? Yes. Okay, great. And then what about this and this? Because when you say this customer had the same issue. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're actively listening. So that's number one. You're building trust. You're doing all these things based around curiosity but you have to layer it within human touch personality because only robots can just list out questions and then boom. So have questions, listen, be curious, wrap it in some stories here and there, and then I think you will, at the very end of that, you'll build trust rather than just sound like another sales rep that's just listing off questions. All right, number 10, final one that I've talked to a lot of sales reps about, but it is coachability. So the reason why is because kind of relates back to number nine, but if you're not coachable from a sales manager, director, VP level, then how can I teach you anything? And if you're the number one rep, then fantastic. But just look over the past 5 years since COVID happened. We have, Chat GPT was announced. Now we have every AI tool at our fingertips. And if you're not using some of that, then is it really that good? And like, are you going to be around the next 3 years? Because there's some other reps that are diving headfirst into these programs to kind of help um, better their sales ability. And so you really have to be open minded and remove ego from the situation. Being coachable is about you personally removing the ego and going full in, understanding the issue, understanding what the person is telling you about. And it can be a peer, it could be a subordinate, or it could be your leader. But being coachable is number one. And on the flip side of that, a lot of people don't know how to coach anymore. I've realized. And so be take everything with a grain of salt. Be understanding that managers are not taught to really lead or have coaching abilities. Some do. One of the best managers I ever had is um, a leader. He's a coach for soccer, so he is a natural born coach, and he is very good at that. So look for those leaders if you want to learn. If you're young, and the older you get, the more experience you get, but you still have to be opening because everything changes and everything's changing a lot faster than it used to. So that's it. So, number one, active listening. Two, build trust. Three, follow through. Four, resilience. Five, product knowledge. Six, objection handling. Seven, time management. Eight, storytelling. Nine, curiosity. And 10, coachability. And all of this is an ongoing process. You have to get better every single day. You have to continue working and building your own self. So, with that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks.